Hey everyone, Reptile Sam here. So today I just want to give a update on all the snakes because it's been a while since I've shown everybody to you guys. So I wanted to, show you how everybody's doing. So here we have Boramir, my banana leopard ball python. And he's just doing wonderful. I've had Boramir for over 4 months now. And he is such a sweet little ball python. Just absolutely wonderful little snake. You can see he's just a really pretty pattern. And this little guy is from Powerline Reptiles. So he is a super sweet little boy. Couldn't be happy with this little fella. He's so funny. A lot of people on my most popular video on YouTube, How to Handle Sand Boas, constantly say, oh, he should be on Aspen, blah, 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 and they haven't watched everything else I've done. So if you have watched everything else I've done, you know Boba is on Aspen. So I'm going to show him to you now and show you why you shouldn't put too much money into props for your sand boa. Boba has a nice thick layer of aspen bedding. He likes to kick it all around and make a mess of it, and then there's his water. But an empty paper towel tube is Boba's favorite thing he has. He squeezes himself right in there. It's kind of hard to get him out sometimes. But there he is, his little Boba, enjoying his paper towel tube. So don't get these guys anything expensive. This is all they need to be happy. Got a little toilet paper tube back there in case you want something a little bit smaller. And a little fake plant for when he's shedding so you can rub it up against it and get his shed off. So here is Brickster, my California king snake. So Brick has gotten to a nice little size. He's not, huge or anything yet. But this is Brick. He's growing really well. And if you watch the video where I first unboxed him, you can see he was so tiny. Brick does still occasionally bite a little bit, but it's not bad, it's not mean. It's just a California king snake being a California king snake. But you can see Brick has this really pretty underbelly and a lot of white on him. And Brick is from Chromatic Critters, and she breeds some really pretty king snakes. So this guy has a ton of space in here. These are very active snakes, and they constantly are moving around. So it's really good for Brick to have a whole V70 tub to himself. Everyone knows Tom, my really large corn snake. Tom is normal, but has very bright and pretty colorings. So Tom was actually bred at the Bowling Green State University Herpetarium, which is pretty cool. So Tom was bred at a university's reptile department, and I actually got Tom in Ohio. So you can see Tom's really pretty colors, really lean build, and Tom's doing great as usual. So here's Sprout, my albino corn snake, or snow corn snake. And you guys know Sprout, she's a really pretty animal. Kind of hard to see how really pretty her pinks look in this lighting. Sprout's a little on the chunky side for a corn snake, so I've been trying to slim her down by feeding her young rats as opposed to mice. Mice are higher in fat content, whereas rats are heavier in protein. So I've been trying to get her to lose a little bit of weight that way. But she's very healthy, she has a great feeding response, and she's a super active colubrid. So if you can really get a good look at how pretty her pinks are, she's just a really pretty animal. So she's just a snow morph corn snake, and she has these really cool yellows that come in on the sides of her face. Bloop, there she is. Hello, Sprout. Meow. This pretty little guy is in shed right now, but this is George, my spazzy little hypo-tangerine Honduran milk snake. And he is a really sweet little guy. He's a little spazzy, but not bitey. Just jumpy. George is a really sweet little guy. He's grown a lot since I've gotten him. And George was bred by Smoldering Serpents. And he is just a really pretty little snake. And again, he's a hypo-tangerine Honduran milk snake. He's currently living in a 10-gallon tank with a heat mat underneath and some nice props. You've probably seen them on my Instagram. And when he's a little bit bigger, meaning too big to escape, he'll eventually move into a V70, and we'll see how he does there for a while. This is this pretty little guy. Look at that pretty little George. So I know we haven't seen Geiger in a while, so I want to show you how big she's gotten. Look at this big snake. Geiger's gotten so big, guys. She's like about 4 feet, maybe a little over 4 feet now. And she's doing really good as, you know, her health goes, and she's a wild animal, I'll tell you that much. Once she's out of her enclosure, she is like just like this, like very curious and intelligent. She loves to explore a little bit, but in her enclosure, she is very striky and does not like you taken out of her enclosure. Which false water cobras all have different temperaments. And like once she's out, she is super fun to hang out with and very curious and intelligent. I do use this large snake hook to get her out because I don't want to get bitten by her. She has a very good feeding response. But when she's out, she's just like this, and she's really cool. She actually just had a medium-large rat, and she's doing really good on her feeding schedule. I'm currently housing her on a bit of dirt and paper towels. Planning on moving to something along the lines of blanket newspaper soon, so that way she can just, you know, these snakes poop a lot and be really easy to clean up. And I also have a kitty litter tray full of water as her swimming tub right now. And she has 2 separate hide boxes and a radiant heat panel set to around 88 degrees. And so she's doing great. You can see she's growing nice and big. And she will be up over 6 feet as an adult. So she's still got a bit of growing to do. But she's a really cool animal. You can see almost like a little bit of a bump from her last meal right here. She had about 48 hours ago. It was just a pretty big rat for a snake this size, big around. So this is Geiger, and she's looking crazy as always, and a really cool animal. So like, I'm happy to be able to show you my false water cobra today. Woo! There you go. Look, there she is, pretty lady. So you guys all know this guy is certainly not last or least, but he is one of my favorite snakes. This is Herman, my boa constrictor imperator, or BCI. And this guy is such a calm animal. He's up around 4 feet as well right now, but he's a lot thicker than Geiger is. These snakes are a lot heavier bodied. Boa constrictors are really cool animals. BCIs tend to be tamer than their BCC cousins. And Herman, my very first YouTube video was him getting medication as a tiny little sick boy. But you can see that he's doing fantastic now. So he has some really pretty saddles along his back, and in classic BCI fashion, he has a very dark red tail, whereas BCCs have a much brighter tail. He's got a really nice, like, light colored belly. He looks like he might even be in shed right now. I haven't noticed him being in shed the past couple of days, but it looks like after his last meal he took that this big boy might be in shed. So this is Herman, and you guys know Herman, and he is such a easygoing animal, really easy to hang out with, very calm. He'll just hang out on the couch, explore a little bit, but Herman's doing great too. But I just wanted to give you guys an update on all the snakes since we haven't done that in a while, and just let you see how everybody's doing and how everyone's grown since you might have last seen each of my snakes. So as you can tell, Herman's getting very thick and strong, but he is such a really good animal. Like, he is definitely the easiest one I have to hang out with and to just chill with. He's a great size to just be able to hang out with. Don't have to worry about him, you know, being too small or fragile or anything like that. It's a really cool little guy, or big guy, I should say. But that's everybody. So until next time, I'm Reptile Sam. Make sure to go follow me on Instagram at reptile.sam. Like and subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. And from Herman and the rest of the crew here at the house, see you later.